Welcome to Exponential Builder, where I share the behind the scenes journey of building in the exponential age, my wins, my lessons, and the thoughts shaping my next moves.
So today was one of those days, where a simple little observation just spirals into a bunch of new ideas. It all started with something my sister was doing, and it ended up showing me just how wild the creative potential of AI really is right now. All right, so let's start with what I actually did today. It all kicked off with this one little thing I saw, and it sparked two totally different experiments. It's all about taking these everyday moments and seeing if you can turn them into something valuable with these new tools. Okay, so my sister has this awesome little side project where she upcycles vintage clothes. It's super cool. I saw her post on Instagram and the clothes looked amazing. But the photos? Well, they look like they were taken at home. Which they were. And look, for a new entrepreneur, a pro photo shoot is just crazy expensive. It's a huge barrier. And that's when the light bulb went off. I mean, just look at this. This is the gap I'm talking about. The old way costs thousands of dollars, takes days or weeks. You need a whole team. It's a massive headache. The new way? It costs basically nothing. I did it in 5 minutes, by myself. The barrier to entry just, poof, it's gone. This isn't a small change. This is a whole new game. And here's how simple it was. Seriously, 3 steps. I just took a screenshot of her photo, threw it into Gemini to swap out her living room for a cool city street. Then, just for fun, I fed that new image into Grok and boom, a little video of her twirling. It took less time than making a cup of coffee. Just ridiculous. So that got me thinking, if you can do that for an existing photo, what could you build from scratch? And with Father's Day coming up, I had this idea. What about a totally custom animated card? The kind of thing that a couple of years ago would have been a massive project. So I built a little AI assembly line. I had ChatGPT write a nice little poem and generate some images. Then I went to Suno and had it create some custom swing jazz music, because why not? Then, same as before, I used Grok to animate the pictures. Finally, I just stitched it all together in Canva. Each tool did its one little job perfectly. It was like having a whole creative studio at my fingertips. So that's what I did. But the more important part is, what did I learn from all this? What did these quick little projects actually reveal about where we are right now? The first big lesson is this number. We've seen a 99%, maybe more, collapse in the cost of creating something that looks and feels professional. The biggest input used to be money. Now, it's just your imagination and knowing which buttons to click. The gatekeepers are gone. But here's where it gets really interesting. There's a twist. As cool as this tech is, people are, well, they're not quite sold on it yet. My sister, curious to see what her followers thought, ran a quick poll on her Instagram story. Original photo versus my AI-enhanced one. And the results, they kind of blew me away. Yep, that's not a typo. 100% of the people who voted preferred the original photo. Not a single vote for the AI version. It was a huge reality check. It proves that just because the technology is ready doesn't mean the audience is. There's this massive gap between what's possible and what people are comfortable with. Okay, so now we get to the third part. How am I thinking about all of this? As a builder, seeing that poll could be discouraging, but for me, it actually clarifies the strategy. It's all about mindset. The first thing is, this whole experience just screams that creativity is now way more important than resources. When the tools are basically free, the winning edge isn't your budget, it's the quality of your idea. Your imagination is the only real bottleneck now. And that 100-0 poll result, that's not a problem. That's the opportunity. The fact that the crowd isn't there yet is the advantage. The biggest wins happen in that gap, before an idea becomes mainstream. Being early, seeing the connections before others do, that's where the real value is created. And really, this all comes down to a concept called tech democratization. It's a fancy term for a simple idea. The tools of creation are being handed to everyone. It doesn't matter if you want to launch a fashion line or a new app, the playing field is being leveled in real time, and it's happening faster than most people realize. So that brings us to the final and most important part. What's next? You have these little experiments, you learn these lessons, now what do you do with them? You have to turn it into action. So for me, it's pretty clear. I'm going to try that AI runway show idea for my own Redbubble stuff. And the animated card concept, I'm going to package that up into a real pilot product. The key is to start documenting all these little micro hacks and quickly move from just playing around to actually building and testing things with a small group of people. And that leaves me with this final thought for you. Ask yourself this question. Because what today taught me is that for so many creative ideas, resources really aren't the object anymore. So, what are you going to build?
This is Exponential Builder, brought to you by Exponential Tom. If you want to follow my journey, explore the tools I use, and join the movement, head to exponentialtom.com.